There's something funny about light tackle fishing. The smaller the bait gets, the bigger the grin seems to be. BFS gear just has that special feel to it, and that's what brings us here today. This video covers the best BFS rods, and I'm walking through picks that vary a lot in cost and purpose. Each one fits different habits and different fishing styles, so catching the full video helps you figure out which option matches what you're after. All the links are in the description. If this breakdown helps you out, you can tap like, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And if you want to ask something or need help picking the right setup, just leave a comment. Let's move into the first rod. Number 5, Cast King Zephyr Spin and Bait Finesse Fishing Rod. Coming in at number 5, this one leans into that ultra-light idea in a pretty fun way. The first thing that stood out to me is how easy it feels to work with tiny baits. We're talking stuff as small as 1/64 of an ounce, which can make you feel like you're trying to cast a snowflake. This rod handles that kind of thing without making it awkward or tiring. The fast action and ultralight build give it a quick, snappy feel, and the graphite blank keeps everything sensitive enough that small taps don't get lost. I like how the split reel seat helps bring a little more feel into your hand too. It's something I've seen on a couple rods in this lineup, but here it stands out a bit more since the rod sits in the budget range. That part gives it a nice edge for anyone just trying BFS for the first time. The EVA handle has a comfortable shape and grip, and the zirconia rings help the line glide cleanly. I've seen plenty of folks point out how smooth it casts once you get the technique down, and some even mention landing fish much bigger than you'd expect from such a light setup, which is pretty funny considering how small the lures are. There are a few things to keep in mind, like some talk about the top section being a bit touchy under heavy stress or the rod feeling stiff to certain anglers. A few shipping hiccups pop up in reviews too, but for the money, it brings a good mix of sensitivity, lightweight, and ease of use, making it a strong entry pick for BFS fishing. Number 4, Cast King Kestrel BFS Rod. Moving into number 4, this one immediately gives off a lighter, quicker feel than the previous rod. The longer length helps with casting reach, and the fast action keeps it snappy, which works well for tiny baits. It leans more into that medium light power, so it feels a bit stronger without taking away from the finesse idea BFS setups are all about. The IM8 graphite with those nano resins keeps the blank sensitive without adding extra weight. I like how the multi-piece build is made to feel closer to a single piece, so you still get that clean bend when a fish pulls. The carbon fiber fighting butt is a nice touch too, helping keep the back end light. It pairs well with the American Tackle reel seat, which holds things steady without adding bulk. The guides use aluminum oxide rings, and folks talk a lot about how smooth the line runs through them, especially with tiny baits. The rod sits in the budget range, but the parts feel like something you'd expect from a much higher tier. Plenty of anglers mention how it handles bass around 3 pounds, and that's pretty wild for something this featherlight. There are a few reports of the tip being a bit touchy under heavy stress, though customer service seems quick to sort things out. Still, for finesse techniques, light lures, and anyone who wants something easy to carry, this one brings a strong mix of performance and comfort. Number 3, Dobyns Sierra Ultra Finesse Casting Rod. Number 3 brings a different feel right away, partly because of that one-piece build, and partly because of the lighter action paired with an extra fast tip. It almost feels like it's meant for those tiny, picky strikes that happen when fish just tap at a lure. The length sits in a nice middle spot too, offering reach without feeling long or clumsy. The high modulus graphite keeps the blank quick and reactive, and the added Kevlar support in key spots gives it a steadier backbone without making it heavy. The cork handle has a comfortable shape, and I've heard plenty of folks say it helps keep their hands from getting tired during long finesse sessions. The micro guides are great for accuracy, though some anglers mention they can be tricky if you use thicker knots, like the FG knot, so that's something to keep in mind. Casting tiny baits is what this rod seems built around. A lot of anglers say it feels best with a 1/4 ounce lure, but it still handles 1/8 ounce stuff well. Some mention that 1/16 ounce baits can feel a bit tougher than expected because the tip snaps back quicker than they thought, though accuracy stays tight once you adjust. The balance sits in a sweet spot, and many users talk about pairing it with lighter BFS reels since it keeps the whole setup feeling smooth. For an entry-level, mid-range option, it mixes sensitivity, comfort, and control in a way that fits finesse fishing really well. Number 2. Abu Garcia Veritas BFS Casting Rod. The second spot brings a rod that feels a bit different from the lighter finesse sticks earlier in the list. This one leans into a medium-light build with a moderate fast action, so it has a smoother bend and a little more strength in the middle. That makes it handy for folks who like throwing slightly heavier finesse baits without losing that light touch feel BFS gear is known for. The blank uses a graphite mix with a special resin that keeps the weight low but adds extra strength. I've heard plenty of anglers talk about how that combo helps it stay steady during quick hook sets or when a fish makes a surprise sprint. The exposed blank reel seat is another part that people point out, since it gives your hand more direct contact and helps you feel those tiny bites that are easy to miss. The 9 stainless steel guides with zirconium inserts work with a guide layout built for longer casts, especially with lighter lures. Casts tend to feel smooth and easy, and a lot of reviewers talk about gaining distance without trying very hard. The EVA grip is shaped for comfort, though the light-colored parts can pick up dirt fast, which a few folks weren't excited about. Some anglers mention that it runs a bit stiffer than they expected for a medium light rod, but many still like that extra firmness for techniques like pitching or light flipping. For a budget pick, it mixes sensitivity, castability, and strength in a way that fits a wide range of finesse bass styles. Number 1. Cashian Icon BFS Rod. Topping the list at number 1 is a rod that feels like it was made for anglers who love precision. The length sits just under 7 feet, which keeps it quick and easy to control, and the fast action gives it a snappy feel that works great for tiny finesse presentations. The light power rating matches that idea, making it easy to toss small lures without feeling bogged down. The blank is hand-rolled and uses a mix of carbon fiber and fiberglass, giving it a lively, responsive bend. I've seen a lot of anglers talk about how the tip loads fast, which helps keep a lure in the strike zone longer. That matters a ton when you're working tiny baits around cover and waiting for those little twitches that happen out of nowhere. The grip uses a carbon fiber and fiberglass mix too, and it keeps things steady without adding extra weight. Micro guides run along the blank and help with clean, accurate casts, especially with light lures. The sensitivity stands out a lot here, with plenty of people mentioning how easy it is to feel even the smallest line movements. The rod sits in the mid-range tier, and many anglers see it as a step up from typical entry BFS setups. A few folks mention that fast action can take a little getting used to, especially if you're coming from slower rods, but once it clicks, the control is impressive. It even comes with a matching reel as part of the combo, which makes the setup feel complete for finesse fishing around cover. Every rod in this lineup brings its own style, and there's something here for just about any finesse setup. If you're interested in any of them, the links are sitting in the description. If this video helped you out, you can tap like, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you've got questions, drop a comment. You can also check out our other videos too if you want more gear talk. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.